Now, for more on the implications of a changing U.S. trade agenda, I'm joined by CCTV Global Economics Analyst Saruhan Hatipoglu. He's also the CEO of BERI. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Rachelle.
Now, Saruhan, we heard there from Adam about some of the negativity that could ensue if these trade deals fall through. What do you think about the potential for the global economic fallout if these deals fall through?
Well, there's going to be a short-term impact, that's for sure, Rachelle, because if you look at it, the agreements have been embraced by, as far as TPP is concerned, is embraced by almost every country. It's just waiting for ratification at this point. And we're talking about an area that has about 800 million in population. That is twice the size of the EU single market. So if you think about it that way, this agreement not going forward will have immediate economic implications. NAFTA, if any candidate is, I think in this case, Donald Trump's presidency would be more damaging to NAFTA because he used the word, I think, or phrase, tear it up. That will have an immediate impact on Mexico. 80% of Mexican exports go to the United States. 60%, by the way, of manufacturers' exports that go to the U.S. are used as intermediate goods in this country by the U.S. So it will hurt the United States as well, and Canada will be affected badly from a NAFTA being torn apart.
Now, as we saw for some of the candidates, if we look at Donald Trump, not exactly sure, very clear on all the policies and what these tariffs might be. So with that being said, how do we know which countries would be most exposed to risk at this point?
Well, you're right. Donald Trump either jumps to conclusions or doesn't move at all. That process is missing in there. The countries that are going to be most affected in the NAFTA deal will definitely be Mexico immediately. Now, let's talk about the immigration issue that Mr. Trump is raising. Illegal immigration is something actually that has been reduced because of this, Mexico's involvement in NAFTA and production of manufactured goods. Now, these individuals, workers, will be out of a job. And that might actually increase illegal immigration into the United States. But Canada, let's look at Canada. Canada benefited from NAFTA greatly. There were U.S. investment in the automotive industry in Canada, beef exports from Canada to the U.S. Of course, Canadian processed food industries were badly affected by U.S. exporting to Canada as well. But those are the immediate countries that will be affected. In TPP, Vietnam is going to be affected very badly. Japan is going to be affected very badly if the agreement doesn't go through.
And just quickly, how are investors reacting to this more protectionist trade data talk?
Well, in England, they were either in despair or disbelief. They couldn't understand why it's going so wrong. But at the end of the day, Rachelle, I'm not as worried as people are. Even with the Trump presidency, there are institutions firmly entrenched in this country's culture, democratic institutions. So for one person to come and say, I'm going to tear this up, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to build a wall, it doesn't go by very easily, right? There's a system, and that system is going to work, in my opinion. Whether it's Hillary or Donald, they have to deal with institutions, and it's really not that easy to change anything you want at will.